Hi folks, it's lunchtime here in central Pennsylvania, so I got a topic that's on my mind and I have a little bit of cold and I'm losing my voice here, so we're going to push through this. I want to talk about geography as it relates to cybersecurity talent in sectors that are hiring. So I think it goes without saying that there's a plethora of cybersecurity talent that's unemployed right now and looking for work at the moment. Areas like San Diego and Los Angeles, there are talents competing with folks in Silicon Valley, and it also stands to reason that large metropolitan areas also have access to a much more extensive pool of people to select from, given recent layoffs in the industry. I don't think the hard part right now is knowing where to look if you're a hiring manager, right? There seems to be talent everywhere. The old dynamic and looking of towns with large universities with cybersecurity programs has even, I think, sort of gone away and had its barriers broken down by a lot of online programs. I mean, take a look at the UMGCs and the SNUs and the Penn State world campuses of the globe. So I don't think that's an issue right now. I think it's pretty easy for an employer to find an influx of cybersecurity talent if they're looking. I think the dynamic of finding talent is probably the worst in small rural towns where they don't really have people that are willing to move there, or for organizations that don't allow for remote work to find people. So let's talk about remote work for a second. It's disappearing. Right? I know a lot of us don't want it, but if we take a look at a recent survey that was run with 764 different organizations by Resume Builder, which is a service out there on the web, they indicate that by the end of 2024, 64% of organizations have already mandated a return to office, at least in a hybrid format. In 2025, with the organizations that were polled there, 87% of organizations are demanding a return to office at some point in 2025. So I think we're going to start seeing geography play a role as the remote work dries up, right? If you're not willing to hire remote candidates, what are you going to do if you're in a rural community that just doesn't have talent? I think there's going to be some consequences there for families, but also maybe some good things for small businesses, of course, right? Eateries that people have ignored and some of those things during the pandemic, but that's another topic for another day. So I'm going in with the assumption that we're going to have 87% of organizations by the end of 2025 not having remote work, right? We might be able to recruit talent to rural areas with selling points. Maybe there's an easier lifestyle there, more work-life balance, lower total cost of living. Maybe the organization will offer some additional benefits like larger buckets of time off, whatever the benefits may be to attract talent there. I think to some degree it will be incumbent upon cybersecurity leaderships and HR organizations to avoid sort of creating cyber deserts in their area, along with the regional economic development authorities and some of those things. Nonetheless, I see a shift in how things are going to work from a recruiting perspective. I could be wrong, but let's dive into some more interesting statistics. So that all being said, if you're open to relocation, what cities have the most cybersecurity openings and what makes them special? Well, I used AI. I wanted to examine dice.com, and I had it roll up some statistics for me and tell me in April 2025 what are the top 10 cities with the most job openings for cybersecurity talent. And I compared it across different AI engines, and the results seem fairly similar. And they include the following cities for most current job openings in cybersecurity to least. Number 1 is the Washington, D.C. Metro. Number 2 is New York City, New York. Number 3 is San Francisco, California. Number 4 is Chicago, Illinois. Number 5 is Dallas, Texas. Number 6 is Atlanta, Georgia. Number 7 is Boston, Massachusetts. Number 8 is Seattle, Washington. Number 9 is Los Angeles, California. And number 10 is Houston, Texas. So what insights are there to be gained from this data? Well, government sectors and tech hubs, regardless of the layoffs that have been going on, have the most openings for cybersecurity workers. Nothing really earth shattering there. What I found most interesting is the growth in areas like Boston that are kind of boilerplate areas for startups. The other thing that didn't really surprise me but came out of the data is that the energy sector is really aggressively hiring cybersecurity talent. So the next question I asked, we know the geography things now, so let's talk about taking a look at a peek of the top industries recruiting cybersecurity talent in 2025. And I'll tell you why this is maybe important in a minute. So those industries include tech companies, finance, healthcare, government, retail, energy, manufacturing, education, telecommunications, followed by insurance for the top 10. So what does that tell you? Well, if you're in the hunt and you're in rural America, maybe check out websites in those sectors for roles that might not be advertised out there to LinkedIn, Dice, Monster, or your favorite job board. I hope this helps. I'm not really looking to get into a discussion of what roles will actually be filled or what roles are real or all those arguments that fly around LinkedIn and the others. But maybe it'll give you a few more thoughts on the job hunt. What do you think? Have a great Monday.